Good afternoon from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and good morning from
Guadalupe from French Caribbean island.
yes, in a beautiful in a paradise. I guess you are. Uh, yeah, with a
Yes,
beautiful.
I am.
Oh, and then it comes again. So it's the connection. So I'm gonna now. I hear myself after you talk.
Okay.
I hear myself. So I'm gonna read your lips. That's it
Okay.
because I have another voice coming. So I have a very beautiful woman, Severyna Jaunasse, with me, coming from Guadeloupe. And it's going to be about feminine energy and the power of never giving up. So, Sev, before we go into our sacred experience, we have a tradition and we're going
Mhm.
to do a centering exercise. And because today it's about feminine energy, I will let's see how we go. Um, I feel like using an Kundalini yoga
Mm.
mantra that
Mm.
it's taps into the energy of the Divine Mother, this primal, protective, and generating energy, which helps us eliminate fears and fulfill our desires. It's a beautiful
Mm.
mantra. And it's called Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo. So I'm gonna guide you. It's a very short centering exercise. So then we
Mhm.
um, step into sacredness of our time together. Okay? So let's close our eyes and connect to our breath because that's our home. And just notice the inflow and the outflow of our breath. And maybe feel a sense of gratitude for the breath.
Mm.
And because it's the feminine energy, let's receive the breath, a delicious breath. Each breath, let's receive it
Mm.
because it's delicious.
Mm.
And let's
Mm.
use the in our mind to recite the mantra Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti. So I'm going to guide you. Just breathe out wherever you are and breathe in Adi Shakti. Breathe out Adi Shakti. Breathe in Adi Shakti. Breathe out Namo Namo. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and let's start.
Mm. Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for taking the time. Très heureuse de partager cette expérience avec toi. So thank you. Bonjour. So
Bonjour.
thank you so much. Sève Jaunasse from Guadeloupe. Sève's mission is clear. She helps people create a transformative vision of life, no matter what their current condition is, to move from darkness to the joy of living and embrace the beauty of who they truly are. And she says that joy is her religion and love is her legacy. She's
Yes.
an international self love expert, founder of In the Heart of a Woman, and the author of two books, Never Give Up and Live the Life of Your Dreams. And the second one, The Power of Heart and Feminine Energy. They're both in French. So we are looking forward also to the English edition. She passionately guides women to awaken their vibrancy and feminine energy, feminine essence, bringing out their courage, authenticity, and power to be free to love. She was born and raised in the south of Poland during the communistic period, and Sev's awareness of human suffering comes from a deep place of knowingness. And her struggles with abandonment, with addiction, the struggles of abandonment, the addictions, and poverty shaped her early life with a limited family around her. So she traveled over 20 years of her life across three countries before she reached the beautiful state of being which she shares so freely. And her joy of being is overflowing, and her higher energy of feeling gives her this power to help others heal. And she's a very interesting woman. She went on the heroine journey from bouncing in and out of orphanage, only to move to France to live with her father, whom she could not communicate given their language barrier, and so many. She will share with us so many experiences. So let's discover her and her wisdom. So all the way from Guadeloupe, you say that that's it's like a paradise. Tell us something beautiful about Guadeloupe. Seb.
At first, I am just so honored being here. Thank you so much, Catalina, for giving me that opportunity to connect with this world and to bring this little spark of light today, and especially from Guadeloupe. And yes, it's a little paradise because it's a little island with beautiful nature, with beautiful wild nature, with beautiful people from different colors of skin who just want to enjoy, who just doing their best. I love going to those little markets and just buying this fresh food, fresh veggie, fresh fruit, and just connecting with people. This is what really brings me that appreciation in my daily life when I can just bring my children going somewhere and just looking at these people, sometimes without teeth, and just they want to bring you your presence to you. They just want to connect and give it what they have.
Yes.
And I love that space. That really helps me to, like a woman, like a mom, to really connect with my core. I am just so blessed that I am landing here 20 years ago. I didn't
Yeah.
know where is Guadeloupe in this world. And it really gives me today, I appreciate each moment when I spend here because it's this is where I bring that energy too, like a woman, we need energy, we need connecting with nature, we need connecting with this flow of life around us
Yeah.
and to just bring it to us.
So you
So
have such a long journey from the communistic Poland to France and to the beautiful paradise island where you live right now. Um, it's similar to my story as I come from the communist Romania, so we knew firsthand what what it was to to live under a totalitarian regime. And so how was your journey,
yeah,
because this is about timeless beauty of being a woman, and in the same
yeah,
time, hi Susie, good to have you. Thank you. Susie Mitchell is here. um,
hi Susie.
Traveling in time, in geography, and in energy
Mm.
still, and never giving up, moving from suffering into joy, and still keeping that, tapping into the energy or divine energy of the feminine. So can you share how, what's your relationship with the divine energy of the divine feminine energy. And how was this the North Star for you in life?
Oh my goodness, it's such a gift, this journey. I started like you. We started with this journey when not everything was easy. I started with this little country in Poland where I lived in a little home with my mom, with my little brother, and she was addicted to alcohol. She was very, very, very sick very often. So we had to move to orphanage. We had to come
Yeah,
back home. It was several times. And what really brings me already that power, that power. I didn't know what power means at that moment, but I really believed in something. I really believed in God, and I I always told myself that God will help me, and I could love. I really had this dream too. I remember I was 6 years old. My mom she went outside with friends because she was very often outside doing her best, but I was so afraid to stay at home at night. I was so afraid. And I remember that moment with my little brother. He was just 1 year old. And I cried and I prayed God, just asking him to please give us this normal life, like every child deserves. And and I prayed so deeply with this pure, pure belief of child. I bring it to my heart and I just pray for that. And it's become my like little my space, my space of my teeny space, my this little light of hope, this little light of just being guided. And it's happened. It's every time when I just had this moment of because it was so much different struggle moment. We have hunger. We have sometimes we didn't have something to eat. My mom was it was very different moment when she was abused when men just fight her so deeply that I had to take care of her. And I was so ashamed because I wanted to show people outside that something bad happened in my home. So I always put everything on my little shoulders. I was a strong little girl, but inside I was some afraid. I was so ashamed. But I always loved um, just crying and then just even if it's darkest moment, I always appreciate little things. I always loved going outside, playing with my little boy and
yeah,
little boy with my little brother. And you know, this is what I want to tell that even if your darkest moment, you always have something little to enjoy. You
yes,
start to
yes,
enjoy this little thing that gives you that hope that it's
yeah.
possible.
Sev, I'm curious because you had a difficult childhood. I had a difficult childhood in Romania, but I always had a knowingness, and
Yeah.
sometimes I was escaping the reality by just making plans and dreaming. And no, I had the knowingness that I'm gonna have a very beautiful life. Did you have that? That sparkle of light and then hope. Did you have that?
I absolutely have that. I
Yeah,
don't know how it was, but I have that I was attracted to that. I was attracted to this little spark of light. I know that something bigger is waiting for me. I knew I didn't know how when, but I knew that it's gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah.
And and this is for me, this is this divine guidance. We don't
Yes,
know when we are trying, but we already feel it. This
yeah,
is in our presence. We are aligned with that. We are born with that. We are the
yes,
source. We are just this expansion of that experiment just happening for us to make us growing, to make us evolving, to make us become more resilient, to be open to the next step. But we already own this
yes,
voice of presence, this voice of this inner beauty, this gift of who we are.
yeah,
And and this is how we know because we feel it. This is this
yeah,
voice from this soul.
Yeah.
And because we believe in something, it can be God whenever we want. We are guided and we attract the person, opportunity, decision to take. When even if it's fearful, you feel it drives you to that because you know that something gonna happen when you take that decision.
Yeah.
Even if your darkest fear, just take that step, just take that decision. Just,
Yeah.
just feel that this little core of who you are. Even if it sometimes it's afraid,
Yes.
it's you are in stuck, but you move forward.
Yeah. So many people that, oh, okay. Some people with difficult childhoods and difficult periods also in their teenagers become bitter
Mm-hmm.
as adults. You had
Yeah.
very difficult times, and still you're like a butterfly. You are just you enter the room, and it's like the light came in. Switch. You're like a switcher. So how was this
Thank
possible
you.
to never give up and then uh, tape into this beautiful energy that you carry within and around you bring around you?
Yeah. And it's like you said, I had so many difficult struggles, but I I learned something beautiful. That just when you come back just to your breath, when you come back just to what you can do right now, when you come back to just appreciating what you have right now. And this is just a practice. I started practicing that because I was just I was just a victim before I living that. I was just so afraid of everything. I just did my step by step journey. But when I just decided that my story is just a story, I want to become this woman who really appreciate her life no matter what happened. I always have this opportunity to enjoy something little today. And because I just connect to this little spark of of what I have right now, I can change something, you know? And and I think it comes from this awareness of we are just from one moment. If I stay so much time in suffering from my past, from my souvenirs, I will not be able to enjoy that moment. I will not be able to give my best to my children. I will not be able to love myself for who I am. This
So
is
how was
really,
it? How was this decision process, and when did it happen? When was this switch? When
it's
did it
sweet,
happen?
the big breakthrough I had when I read Tony Robbins' book, Awaken the Gene Within.
Mm. How old were you?
This book, I was, I was 20, it was in 2000, 2001. I already enjoyed my life before, but I didn't have purpose. I didn't have this clarity. I didn't express my truth. I was living my life like a pleaser. I was living for craving for love because I wanted to be appreciated because I craved for love for my mom, for my dad. I never had them before. I never knew what it meant to have a home. I never knew what it meant to have a family, to have rules at home, So I had to crave all that stuff. But when I discovered that book, when I discovered that story, especially the chapter about the Thanksgiving, when someone came to Tony's and knocked to the door and give them the food, and that's remember my own story when we had nothing to eat, and we were at home with my mom and my little brother, and someone knocked to the door and they bring us two big yellow package with food with some stuff. I was so grateful that, oh my gosh, I am not alone. So if he can do that, I can do that. And I promised myself that day that each experience I am living right now, it's not just about me.
Yes.
And and I realized that I wanted to give more back to someone, something to someone, to people. And this is how I decided to develop myself, to to invest in myself, to grow myself, to allow myself to be who I am, not to have to please, to just be my core, to enjoy, to practice being in my own feminine flow, and to forgive people, and to love them for who they are, and to accept them, and to just bring my best right now, and I promise myself that day that I would love to do the same like Tony do, not because Tony, but because of me, of the gift I received from him. Because we are here to learn and to give back to something, to someone, and to create that experience with so many people's lives. And it all starts with us. And this is
So
how everything started.
yeah, you became very successful in life. And I love part of the things you moved from Poland to France to your father, and you couldn't even communicate with your father because you at that time you were not speaking French. And so you
Yeah,
learned French, and then you went to university, um, and then fast forward. Then in
yeah,
year 2000, you joined Tony Robbins' Platinum Group, and
yeah.
you were not speaking a word of English,
No.
but you went. You somehow the two questions. Fear didn't stop you,
Yeah.
and not that didn't stop you. You maintain and cultivated the feminine energy. So you didn't transform into a fighter alpha male dressed
Yeah.
in a dress. So how was
Hmm.
this possible? So the fear stuff and the feminine energy while being
You know,
successful.
it's it's such a beautiful question. Thank you so much, Catalina. It's gonna help so many beautiful women in this world. The fear, it's something that paralyzes or invites us to dance with that energy, to move that energy, and to really step into that energy, to being curious what's happened beyond that. Just step into, just make a move, and just you have you can find and you can succeed. If you try, no matter, but you just try. You don't need to be perfect. You just try your next step. And this is what moves me. I was so hungry for more, for growing, for evolving, for becoming more, for I didn't know how I done, but I was so hungry for that. So I just stepped in, no excuses. I had to do that every day. I hear YouTube to understand a little bit English, and it's and this beauty of that. That sometimes I was pissed off because it was very scary not to knowing. But you know what I discovered during that moment? The most beautiful experience, connecting with people hurt, connecting with not speaking language, connecting with people's emotion without
So you
expressing.
connected much deeper beyond the spoken word, beyond the language.
Yes, absolutely. When you don't speak the same language, you have to use different way of connecting with people. You used to understand how they look, how they what they what they mimic is, what the body language is, how and you feel them. You just connect when you come from this place of love and not judgment. When you just appreciate this human being who is connecting with you right now, you learn so much. When you just learn how to listen to them, how to appreciate them, you become a teacher and student from them, because we always have something beautiful to learn from each human being we cross the way. And this is what helps me to grow and still rise. And
Yes.
I am just so grateful for this, because this is because of this little step by step, this journey of courage to just make little move. Just this little move. Nothing changed in the one day. The commitment and the purpose you have to yourself. You want to bring the little spark to this world. So you fear will always be there. Sometimes I have fear too. It's not I am not a fearful woman. Yes, I have fear too. But I just connect with my breath. I just connect with who I am, what I went through, and I remember I become this remember, that's why practicing gratitude is so important for us, for everybody, people, men, women, children. We need to teach already our children to be grateful for what we have, what we went through, because from that we create that energy in that body. Because what connects to us is energy, and energy. When you provide that energy from this, you provide that energy what you practice, what you see every single day in your life. The success for me, it's when you just allow yourself being you, expressing you, growing, asking for help, making the next move. When you fail, you can stand up and you to just go to the next step and to just enjoying the journey of becoming. Because
Yeah.
when you when you feel that you have nothing to give, when you think that you are not enough, your energy is weak. You have nothing to offer to this world. Even if you are, even sometimes you are have this um, you have this awareness that you want, you have this, you have this intention that you want to bring something. You don't even know who to, but you already you are in that level of growing, of hunger, of intention, of this appreciation. So you rise that vibration. You rise and you connect with this divine light. You
Yeah.
connect that and you become one because we are just
Yes.
one. Nothing
Yes.
different. And that's
Energetically. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
How were you as a teenager, in your 20s? Was your energy similar to how you're now? So butterfly like, and or how?
Oh my gosh, I was a fighter. I was a fighter. I was a very masculine energy. I was my father told me out of my home when I was 18. I had no home. I had to take care of myself. And I wanted to continue to study because I promised myself that I'm gonna have my little brother. So I became a fighter. I started smoking. I started drinking. I already had a very tough time, but I also have sport. That moment of sport gives me this power to liberate my energy. To just I wanted to show my father that I'm gonna try. So it was not always. I was not always being the little butterfly, but
So
this
were you more
butterfly,
the boyish girl, or the girly girl?
I was girly. I always was girl because I always had this part of me, but I was very boy controlling. I wanted to achieve, have a diploma. I wanted to show that I'm gonna try, but it was not. It was I feel so empty inside. I cried so many times. Sometimes I had nothing to eat, and uh, and I had to move. And I had to move because I had to send some little 20 euro to my brother because you know he he needed that more.
How did you transition
So
into the feminine energy while walking the path of success?
it was um, after stepping in the journey with my mentor, after stepping in that journey of growing of in the environment, Tony Robbins, and then Sheila Kelly with S Factor with different stuff. I moved to the different. I discover one thing that I was so ashamed of my body. I was so ashamed of expressing my thoughts. I was so ashamed of just being me. I discovered during that journey that I was a very strong woman, but I wasn't open because when I was 6 years old, I was abused. So I closed myself to protect myself. Um, and that journey, when I just open up, when I just start crying, when I just liberated freedom of just being me, and not being afraid of that story. Just healing that little girl who just wanted to shine, who just wanted to bring that light for herself. Just loving her body, loving her where she is right now. This really helps me to stand up and to tell me now I'm gonna help someone else
Yes.
because I know how it feels to just
So, Sev, that's a big theme
yeah,
for many women because we live also in a culture that proliferates pornification of the feminine body. We have to have
yeah,
certain curves. We have, so it just it gets out so far away from sensuality, and
yeah,
and we as women, we are sensual being, right? So
absolutely.
if you, if as a woman create that me against my body
Mm-hmm.
versus my body that needs to look in a certain way, creates a
Mm-hmm.
disconnection and not love. So how do you said that at some point you started to love yourself and love your body as it was.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is a big theme for many women. What would you advise? Of course there is no size fits all, but from your experience, what would you advise women?
Yeah. For each woman, we are such a beautiful source of light. And in each woman, her body, it's the most beautiful space she spent her life in. It, each woman needs to care of her body. Loving her body, what it means? Loving her body is to just starting to taking care of her daily, caring how she look, touching her body, putting some little cream or something, going to the shower, just someone who is very afraid and disconnected to her body, she will, oh, she's crazy. No, everything starts like that. I remember I couldn't I couldn't touch my private part because for me it was well, But starting to loving, to just looking how I am, how this part of my body looks like, taking care, going to nature, um, really, and just telling myself, this is who I am. I have only this body for me. This is my advice to really care of your body. Go to nature. You can move your body. The most beautiful way to enjoy being in your body is put your
And
body in movement.
yes, and it's not that you want to seduce a man. No, just when you're by
No,
yourself, only finding, just making love with universe and moving the body in that.
exactly. It's exactly just moving on your own way. No, just moving, closing your eyes. Just, just make exactly. This is for you. When you start loving yourself for who you are, with your forms, when you are like that, when you are big, it's not about your weight. It's about your essence. It's about how you move with yourself. It's about how you feel yourself, how you express yourself when you cry, when you when you smile. This is your essence. This is your feminine presence. This unspoken voice by your movement with yourself. This is very important to take care of that. So when you love yourself, you start to attracting. You don't look for attracting because attract when you love your body, when you love yourself, when you love the journey of who you become. This is how people start looking at you and without waiting anything. This is the beauty of that.
Many
So
many
start
of
with
my
you.
yes, many of my clients, women, and I'm sure in your world as well, are mothers, successful entrepreneurs, or successful in corporations, and they are
Yeah.
very tired. So there, people look for sources of energy to increase our energy.
Mm-hmm.
And looking, outside for coffees or whatever sources is one way. But
Uh-huh.
there is another way, and I would like to tap into this because you are somebody to tap into the feminine energy, into the um, I would call it Shakti, also sexual energy as a source of energy in life,
Yeah.
which it's a it increases our creativity, right?
Yes,
So how is this
absolutely.
tapping into this energy help you write your books and become very successful?
This is this tapping into that sexual energy is very important. It's it's all second chakra, you know. It's this it's this place where your creativity or your sexuality is in flow. The more you how you the more you move that energy, that's why movement is very important. That's why connecting deeper, deepen, breathe deepen from that space of that second chakra. This is second chakra we have in this in the here inside of us, you know. And when you connect with that deeply every single day, just feeling that space, really feeling that space for yourself. You don't need to move everything. You just need to move inside of your body. Just breathe from that space and just breathe consciously. Just feeling aware that this is your creative space. This is your space of your uniqueness. And when you rise that energy, your presence vibrates. When you connect that second chakra with your heart, with your vibration of your being, of your emotion, of who you are, when you connect that two beautiful energy together and you just breathe from them and you just deep breath and just feel it, naturally your body calms down, you become centered, and you become completely disconnected from your head. And this is what really women forget. They are in the operative state. They are focus driven. We need some focus, absolutely, but your focus will be more, more, more efficient when you connect with your feminine power. When you connect with your sexuality is not about sex. This is, of course, it's all about this too. But for yourself, it's to become aware that you can tap into that power to use it for your connection with people, for your focus driven action, for your vision, for your creativity, for expressing your gift. And this is what I really advice for women who are stressed, who are very successful, who are beautiful. They are doing their best. They don't know how to connect that. Just every single morning when you wake up, when you just do your gratitude journey, you just you can just sit down, put your hand on your between your pelvis and your number, put your hand in on that space, and you just breathe 4 times. You can just close your eyes like you want and just breathe deeply.
As a matter of fact, Sev, let's
Yeah,
just do it right now, because
yeah.
let's turn that energy on so people can see
Okay.
what happens to us when we
Mm-hmm.
turn it on. So let's move, let's connect with our womb energy, with our home, and
Yes.
we'll do it right now.
Let's do it right now. Just close your eyes. Yes. Just close your eyes and just put your hand on your here on your thumb. Yes. And just breathe deeply. And imagine inside of your womb space this little light.
And I will even do it with an open eyes, so to show that it's also
Okay.
possible to turn it on, so you can see what's
Okay.
happening when I turn it on, that energy, and then you guide it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just breathe deeply and then breathe again. And imagine yourself right now in that warm space with little sparkling light growing every time you breathe in and becomes little one when you breathe out. Breathe in and your light just grow and grow and grow. And breathe out and again breathe in. This light is just exponential right now. And just breathe out with your open mouth. And just feel moving that energy, this light. Move that energy, that light of that space. Just continue breathing slowly, effortlessly, and move that space to your heart. Your little heart that served you when you were born. And connect that love, connect that energy of yours. And expand and breathe in with both of them right now. With your heart and with your warm space. And when you breathe out, just open your mouth and feel when you breathe in this little light expanding to all of your body. Oh, yes. So just slowly continue breathing. And when you are ready, you can just open your eyes and just feel what's happened right now in your body. Wow. Yes. Just feel it.
And I hope that when you watch this, you're gonna do this practice with us because it just moves the energy up, and
Yeah.
it's just a fuel of energy, and it's cheap, and it really feels good.
And we
So
can see in your eyes.
yes. So
Yeah.
Seb, I this is an important theme for me, and I teach a lot as well. So I would like to go again with you to meet again and then share more of this wisdom with women on this planet, because it's needs we can be very successful, and in the same time turn on the
Yeah.
energy and connect, because when you say stay true to yourself, what does it mean? It can mean so many things, but it's just the energy. It's the energy
Yeah.
that ultimately, of course, there are many things, but they are here. We need to drop down into the
Mm.
body. We need to go home into the womb energy, into the that. And then many women have lots of womb wounds that they keep energetically in this area, in the womb area, in the belly area, and they manifest in different physical problems. So I would like to continue this conversation, Sev, and teach together maybe some practices so that women can
Oh, with
go
pleasure.
and re-inhabit that pearl
Yeah.
of life that feels so
Yeah.
good, and that it's our source of creativity, and it is our truth, our wisdom.
This is art.
Would you like to
Absolutely.
come back to do this?
Absolutely. I will be ready,
So
Honor, for that.
thank you so much, Seth. We can be successful and still connected to this beautiful source of energy, our Shakti.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Or
much, Sev. Thank you for
thank
your
you,
generosity.
Katarina.
Très beaucoup. Merci beaucoup pour ta générosité, pour de conversation aujourd'hui. Et à bientôt. Thank you so much,
À très
Sev, and I'll
bientôt.
see you next time. And wishing you a wonderful weekend, everybody. And for women, just inhabit your feminine energy, enjoy it, and go and sparkle your magic.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank
Sev.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you.